Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday, just 2 days before that Category 5 slams into Clearwater Beach, right here where I live.
Only 170 miles wide in diameter as it is working its way to the east at 10. Now, it will be very powerful as a Category 5.
And we are still recovering from the last Hurricane Helene, and now Milton's coming. So to get my mind off of it, here I am with another video for you. This one is very interesting. It's about a head transplant. Now, I know it hasn't happened yet, but there are advances, and they believe that they possibly can transplant a head onto a body. If there's somebody gets in an accident and their head is just totally, brain is damaged and they're going to die, they're actually experimenting on cutting off that head and putting another head from another body, like a disabled person or a paraplegic, take their head and put it on a good body. Is it ever going to happen? I don't know, but it's quite interesting. And then at the end, I got a little RJ personality for you. So hang out, hit that like, hit that subscribe, make sure you turn on notifications because we are rolling.
The most extraordinary story for you now. Over the past few years, we have seen surgeons carry out the first hand transplant, womb transplant, and of course we've seen face transplants. But now one doctor is planning on making history by performing the world's first ever head transplant.
Yep, you heard correctly, a head transplant, the full head. The pioneering and somewhat controversial operation will see the head of Valery Spiridonov, who's terminally ill and wheelchair-bound, attached to an entirely new body. We're speaking to Valerie, who's here with us in just a moment. But first, Charlotte has more on exactly what this extraordinary procedure will involve.
Yes, it really is such a complicated process, and the surgeon planning this operation says it'll take around 150 medical staff 36 hours to complete. The first step is to freeze the head and body in order to stop the brain cells from dying. The neck will then be cut and the tubes connecting the key arteries and veins fitted. The next step will be the biggest challenge. Now, this is cutting the spinal cord, and doctors will be using an extremely fine blade made from diamond to minimize the damage here. The head will then be moved from the donor body and the spinal cords will be fused together using a special type of glue. Now, once all that is in place, it is a race against time to reattach all the remaining muscles, veins, and the organs like the esophagus. Once the skin is stitched together by a plastic surgeon, the patient will be kept in an induced coma for 4 weeks to allow everything to heal. It really is an extremely intricate procedure.
So Valery Spiridonov wants to undergo that procedure, that surgery. Dr. Hillary is here alongside you. Well, Valerie, it's fantastic to meet you, and thanks so much for coming in. This is just extraordinary, just hearing the details of this procedure from Charlotte. Tell us why you want to undergo something, I mean, frankly, so life-threatening.
Okay. As you can see, I'm disabled in a pretty heavy condition, but also I'm very fond of science. I lived deeply into this topic of this kind of transplantations for about 20 years.
Just think about the desperation somebody must have to consider being the first person to have your head taken off and placed on another body, cutting through the spinal cord, which I didn't even know they could do. But wow, medical technology. This guy wants to be the first. Imagine that, folks.
Introducing BrainBridge, the world's first revolutionary concept for a head transplant machine, which uses state-of-the-art robotics and artificial intelligence to conduct complete head and face transplantation procedures, ensuring smooth outcomes and faster recoveries. Because head transplants require high speed, precision, and efficiency, BrainBridge utilizes advanced high-speed, high-precision robotic systems to speed up the process, eliminate human error, prevent brain cell degradation, and ensure seamless compatibility. The head transplant procedure involves removing a person's entire head containing the brain from their current diseased body, then attaching it to the body of a healthy, young, brain-dead donor. Head transplants could provide individuals with severe medical conditions such as terminal cancer, paralysis, spinal cord injuries, or neurodegenerative diseases the opportunity to have a fully functional body while preserving their consciousness, memories, and cognitive abilities. The neurons are the longest-lasting functional cells in the human body, and according to our estimates, the brain is capable of lasting several hundred years, provided that the rest of the body remains young. The brain bridge concept involves the use of the integrated robotics platform comprised of the 2 autonomous surgical robots, designed to perform simultaneous surgeries on 2 bodies side by side within a single setup. The complete robotization of the process allows for the surgery to be performed in an environment with varying temperature and pressure. The procedure begins by preparing the donor and recipient bodies. The donor is a brain-dead patient who has a functional body with vital organs in good condition, while the recipient is the patient whose head will be transplanted onto the new body. General anesthesia is administered to both the recipient and the donor. Both patients undergo tracheotomy, with a tube inserted into the trachea to provide respiratory support and facilitate mechanical ventilation. Our proprietary artificial plasma solution is administered to both the recipient and the donor. This solution is designed to keep the brain and body oxygenated, prevent clotting, and allow for safe operation at low temperatures. The recipient's head and the donor body are cooled to approximately 5 degrees Celsius to reduce potential brain damage during the detachment. Guided by advanced real-time molecular level imaging systems, BrainBridge carefully separates the heads from the 2 bodies with the help of a specialized surgical technique that preserves the spinal cord and key blood vessels. Deep incisions are carefully made around the neck to expose the necessary structures, including the carotid and vertebral arteries, jugular veins, and spine. With the help of specialized AI algorithms, BrainBridge tracks both muscles and nerves during surgery to facilitate seamless reattachment. Next, incisions are made in the trachea, esophagus, veins, and arteries. The blood is then completely drained from the recipient's head to prevent clotting. The recipient's head is then positioned adjacent to the donated body using a mobile platform. BrainBridge immediately connects the detached head to the circulatory system of the donor body, which helps maintain blood flow during the rest of the procedure. It also re-warms the recipient's head and provides it with oxygenated blood. With the help of its ultra-precision surgical instruments, BrainBridge begins reconnecting the spinal cord, esophagus, trachea, nerves, blood vessels, and other tissues. This step facilitates communication between the brain and the new body. The machine utilizes microsurgery techniques and delicate microscopic adjustments to ensure the proper alignment and fusion of the spinal cord and other tissues. To help reconnect the severed neurons, BrainBridge uses a proprietary chemical adhesive, polyethylene glycol, which is applied locally to the spine at the point of fusion. Once the spinal cord is connected, a specialized implant is placed in the epidural space behind the spine over the point of fusion. This implant promotes the repair of damaged neurons and allows the patient's brain to form neural connections with the new body and ensures that the sensory system is restored. It also functions as a temporary backup control device for the donor body. The next step of the operation is a face and scalp transplant where all the muscles, soft tissues, and skin are removed from the recipient's face. The donor's face, muscles, and soft tissues are then precisely transplanted in their place. By transplanting younger donor tissues, the procedure reduces the probability of tissue rejection and offers potential for aesthetic enhancement, particularly in cases where the donor is significantly younger than the recipient. It also restores functionality and structural integrity to the recipient's face and rejuvenates its appearance. BrainBridge then carefully sutures the skin to conceal the complex rewiring beneath the surface. The skin is then treated with a special spray that contains growth factors, anti-fibrotics, and antibiotics. This spray promotes faster skin healing, prevents infections, and reduces scarring in the sutured area. Finally, immunosuppressive drugs are administered to prevent the recipient's immune system from rejecting the donor body. After the surgery, the recipient is carefully monitored in an intensive care unit and is kept in a coma for up to 4 weeks to prevent movement or misalignment of the connected body parts. During this time, the head, neck, and spine are firmly stabilized to optimize the fusion of the spinal cord. Life support systems are utilized to regulate breathing and circulation, while nutrition is delivered through a jejunostomy feeding tube. Gradually, the recipient's brain should regain control over the new body. As the recovery process advances and the patient regains mobility, there will be a need for extensive rehabilitation, physical therapy, and psychological support to help the recipient adapt to their new body and regain motor functions. BrainBridge Headband, which is equipped with a brain-computer interface, will allow the patient to communicate their needs during recovery. Thanks to the power of thought, the headband decodes brainwaves and turns them into text or speech. It could allow the patient to control other devices directly from their brain, granting them the autonomy to execute specific tasks independently throughout their recovery journey. Because of the complexity and unexpected challenges of the head transplant procedure, self-learning algorithms allow BrainBridge to avoid errors and adapt surgical plans in real time, depending on the surgery's needs. It can also improve its capabilities over time by learning from previous surgeries. Learning algorithms can recall past procedures and outcomes to continually refine and enhance surgical techniques and post-operative care. While the surgery is being conducted, the BrainBridge algorithm creates a personalized recovery plan, depending on the progress of the procedure and the needs of the patient. To maximize compatibility and ensure seamless integration, we collaborate with the top experts in generative artificial intelligence, brain-to-computer interfaces, and robotics, with multiple successful projects and hundreds of high-profile peer-reviewed research papers. Over the past few years, we developed the end-to-end approach, which accounts for every single detail, including immune compatibility, brain-body connectivity, replacement of the visual and olfactory systems, and post-operative rehabilitation.
I read about Robert White's experiments with monkeys and Professor Vladimir Demikhov experiments with dogs. So I thought that if this technology could be improved and could be done safe enough to make the transplant on human and to make the transplant with the point where the brain will be able to control the new body, it will make sense. And of course, we should evolve this procedure and make it happen.
Valerie, obviously, it's a very dangerous operation.
Absolutely.
You know that. You're a smart guy. You know the risks involved. Have you just taken the view, you have a terminal illness anyway, your life expectancy is not great, you have nothing to lose? Is that your thinking? And I suppose my second question is, do you know what your quality of life could be if this is all a huge success?
Okay, let me explain. I'm not doing only this project, this full body transplantation project. I'm also in charge of several other projects, but this was the most public one. I also try to improve lives of other people by creating autopilot wheelchair systems, other accessible devices, but it became so that Dr. Canavero's project is most known.
But for you personally, Valerie,
yes.
I'm trying to get inside, well, quite literally your head about this, right? I want to know, what is making you do this? What is your motivation personally?
My motivation personally is about improving my own life conditions and to go to the stage where I will be able to take care of myself, where I will be independent from other people. Because
and you believe this operation, if it's successful,
yes, absolutely.
If it's completely successful,
yes,
and there are massive risks, it's never been done, but if it works, you believe the quality of your life will not only be extended, but could actually be quite reasonable.
We're trying to do our best to make this experiment safe and to make it believable, and we try to do all the research which is needed to be safe, because today my life is pretty tough. I need to invite people to help me every day, even twice a day, because I need someone to take me off my bed and put me into my wheelchair, to assist me through the day. So it makes my life pretty dependable from other people. And if there will be a way to change this, I believe that it should be tried, used.
It's worth a go, right?
Man, makes me just think, oh, maybe I should put a collar on my neck. They want to take my head off or something, yeah? It's crazy, guys. I can't wait till they start doing it. This is like some Frankenstein shit, right? Whoa, I cannot imagine this. But hey, it's happening. Head transplant. Man, I remember watching a movie back in the 70s about a man with two heads. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it right here, let you check out. It's only about a minute or two long, but this is what I remember from a kid watching this movie. Check it out. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow.
A massive monster menaces the world. Threatening, the most intimate terror a woman ever felt. Because of an experimenter with life. The incredible two-headed transplant.
Who are you? I'm your brother. You and I are now one, dummy.
Get the guns.
A young couple was killed up there in the loop last night.
A couple of kids claim they saw a giant with two heads to it.
Doc's pick up the scent. Come on.
No woman is safe from his deadly embrace. No man is safe from his killer lust.